ありがとうございました。では、失礼します。
Whew! This should be most of the boxes then. I wiped the sweat off my forehead with my arm, as the moving truck disappeared from view. Although it was early April and only the beginning of spring, today's weather was quite nice. It was even a bit hot. Well, it's a good day for a new start. I turned my head to look at the empty bakery, which didn't even have any signage yet. The brand new exterior wall had a western look with a predominantly white and brown motif. There was also a large window which let lots of sunlight in. And finally, there were the words that displayed the name of the bakery, La Soleil. Instead of the proper French article le, it was La Soleil, meaning the sun. This was a nod toward the name of the shop of someone I admired. Now that I'm on my own, I'll have to do my best, I softly murmured to myself. From here on out, no one would tell me what to do. I was going to start completely anew despite the stature of my family's name and everything that had happened up until now. I alone would decide my path and take responsibility for what I would do. In exchange for that freedom, I can't blame anyone else for what happens. Still, although I was a bit worried, the thought of what lay ahead of me made me break into a smile. All right. In any case, I'd better get all these things cleaned up. I took a deep breath and got my spirits back up. I stepped into the new-smelling bakery. What's this big box? In front of me was a large box I didn't recognize. In fact, there were two of them. Fragile. Delicate. Absolutely this side up. If thrown, your company will be in trouble. The warnings were going overboard. They were getting annoying. Even if these are baking supplies, I don't remember buying anything quite like this. First off, they were boxes that looked like they came from my house. If these were for the bakery, there's no way I wouldn't remember buying them. There were no tags from the moving company either. All there were those warning labels. Well, I'll know for sure once I open the... Huh? No, it's just a cat, huh? Just a troublesome cat. Jeez.
よかった。ごまかせたみたい。危ない危ない。気をつけないと。
Like that would fool me! What are you doing, Chocola?
お久しぶりですね。ご主人様。
We just saw each other at home yesterday, you know.
まあ、それはそうなんですけど。あ、それよりちょっと聞いてください。引っ越し業者の人たちひどいんですよ。ショコラのこと運ぶときにですね、この段ボール重いから気をつけろよとか言って思わずふしゃーって泣きそうになっちゃいました。ふしゃーって。一生懸命に我慢しましたけど、ショコラはプンプンですよ。プンプン。
Well, Compared to the rest of my things, you are heavy. She ignored what I said. Chocola puffed out her cheeks. You could say that she was always happy-go-lucky. Or rather, she preoccupied herself with only what was in front of her. Well, I guess that's how you describe Chocola. While I was getting ready to move, I did wonder why I didn't see you. Hey.
お久しぶり、ご主人。引っ越し業者のトラックの中が埃っぽくて、鼻がムズムズ、つらかった。
Why is Vanilla here too?
ショコラがいるところ。それは私がいるところだから。それに、猫は狭いところは嫌いじゃない。あと私も、こっちの段ボールも重いから気をつけろよーとか言われた。だから私もおこ。どんすか。
Again, huh? In any case, Chocola, Vanilla, get out of there. I was at my wit's end with the large boxes that had suddenly shown up. Anyhow, Chocola and Vanilla got out of their boxes. Why is no one picking up the phone? Just what is Sugar-Ray doing? I hung up after trying to call my little sister. There was no way that Chocola and Vanilla could have gotten mixed in with the rest of the boxes in the first place. On the outside, catgirls look almost like humans. They can understand words and can talk just like us. But more than humans, catgirls were closer to normal cats. After all, catgirls had ears and tails, just like cats do. They were genetically modified humanoid cats that were commonly referred to as catgirls. These days, catgirls fit into society as pets in families or partners to humans. My little sister really loves to dote on catgirls. So our family has 6, including Chocola and Vanilla. In any case, they couldn't have mailed themselves all on their own. Mailing living things through the post would be impossible for one thing. There's no way my parents would have helped with this either. Thus, I could only guess that this was somehow Sugar-Ray's doing. I see. So Sugar-Ray was an accomplice then.
すごく綺麗なお家ですにゃー。新しいお布団とか家具の匂いとか好きですにゃー。思ってたより広い。ご主人の解消バッチリ。バニラ、あっちの部屋行ってみよう。探検。位置的におそらく寝室。きっとご主人の新しいベッドがあるはず。にゃー、それは聞き逃せないね。もふもふしに行こう。もふもふ。もふもふ了解。私もそれはいいと思う。そうと決まれば、レッツゴー。
Don't get out of control and hurt yourselves.
はーい。はーい。
Without any ill intentions, the 2 catgirls were off and running. Well, the bakery did have living quarters on the 2nd floor, so I wasn't worried about them causing a ruckus around here. Of course, they aren't young catgirls anymore either, so I shouldn't have to worry about them getting out of control too much. Well, besides that, I looked up an address in my phone's address book. Minaduki Residence. Well, I already left Sugar-Ray a message, so she should call me back later. Without pressing the call button, I put the cell phone back in my pocket. I had moved out without saying anything, so for her to call me back within the days seemed a bit stupid. Well, it wasn't really an issue I needed to bring up right this moment. I should hear from Sugar Ray soon anyhow.
ご主人様のお布団、もふもふ完了であります。新しいお布団、すごくふかふか。合格点。
Good work, you two. Gosh, both of you have major bedhead. Sheesh.
ご主人様のなでなで大好き。気持ちいいです。苦しゅうない。もっと。
I tidied up their hair with a comb. Their soft hair felt nice, as always. I lightly bonked them both on the head while they had their eyes closed. Now then, why were the two of you hiding among my moving boxes?
ご主人様が連れてってくれないって言うから仕方なく。ショコラが行くって言うからノリで。
You had no choice? Just tagged along? You two. Well, I figured that had to be the reason, but... Anyhow, I recomposed myself and looked at the two of them again. Listen up, okay? How many times have I told you two? This isn't a vacation or picnic. I moved out because I have no intention of going back there. If you were at home, you wouldn't have anything to worry about. Sugar Ray and the other CATGIRLs are there too. It would be better if you two just...
違うんです。これはお腹が反抗期なだけなんです。だから違うんです。本当に。朝早かったせいで朝ごはん食べ損なったから仕方ない。それにショコラはお腹の音もかわいい。
While listening to those silly excuses, I glanced at the clock and saw that it was already past 1 o'clock. Now that I thought about it, I haven't eaten anything since this morning either. Well, why don't we have lunch first then?
ご主人様大好き。さすがご主人は話がわかる。かたじけない。
These two were as easygoing as always.
Nekopara.お買い物ご主人様とお買い物にゃー。最近はご主人が全然お買い物連れて行ってくれなかったからショコラのテンションが青天井にゃー。バニラだって実はウキウキしてるくせに。ほーら、ほっぺふにふにしちゃうぞ。はい、ショコラくすぐった。ダメ。
You'll bother those around us, so try not to get carried away, you two. Since the refrigerator was empty, we headed to the nearby shopping district to buy groceries. From brand-name clothing stores to supermarkets, there was an array of stores. There was even a drugstore with daily necessities amongst them. If you come here, we have just about everything. That was how the real estate agent had recommended this place to me. Wait, don't you two go shopping with Sugar Ray often?
もうしぐれちゃんとご主人様じゃ全然違うんです。はあ、ご主人はほんとご主人たる自覚がなくて困る。ショコラが不憫。
Hey, first of all, Sugar Ray is your master.
しぐれちゃんもご主人様だけどしぐれちゃんはしぐれちゃんなんです。 だからご主人様はご主人様なんです。全然違うでしょ。理屈になってないけど熱意は伝わる。さすがはショコラ。パチパチパチ。
Never mind then. Anyhow, keep it down inside the store, okay? I parted from the two of them. I decided to hurry on ahead.
ご主人様、シャンプーはこれがいいってしぐれちゃんが言ってましたよ。これ、毛並みがサラサラになるし、すごく甘くていい匂いがする。
But that stuff's for you two to use. I don't need it, so put it down and come over here.
ご主人様、ひどい。ひどいぶった切りようです。よしよし、ショコラ泣かないの。ご主人はひどい人だね。
Don't just say that and then toss that back in the basket all nonchalantly.
ガードが硬い。
I had to be on guard, or they would sneak something in when I wasn't paying attention. They even tried to grab another basket for themselves at the supermarket earlier. It was apparent to me how dreadful an idea it was when they decided to come along.
ごめんなさい、ご主人様。久しぶりのご主人様とのお買い物でテンション上がっちゃって。猫は素直だから仕方ないね。ご主人も素直になればいいのに。
It has nothing to do with being honest. I'm telling you, don't just put the shampoo in the basket like that. Put it back.
交渉です。お願いします、ご主人様。何とぞショコラたちのシャンプーを買ってください。シャンプーもない家に帰るのは悲しい。猫的に油髪は気持ち悪い。あの猫ちゃんたち、シャンプーもろくに買ってもらえないのかしら。かわいそうに。猫虐待で通報した方がいいんじゃないのかしら、あれ。
Don't put on some act to confuse the customers around us. Seriously! We'd only just moved here. But suddenly we already had disapproving glares directed at us.
ご主人様とのお出かけは楽しいです。思わずニャンニャン言いたくなっちゃいますね。ニャンニャン。私たちのものは何も買ってくれなかったけど、ご主人ケチ。
I'm not a cheapskate. Besides, I nearly got reported. After that, it was the same sort of exchange at the supermarket. The whole thing was so awkward that I don't think I can visit that shopping district for a while. Well, I guess you could say that was the cute side of CATGIRLs.
あっちからすごくいい匂いがする。ほんとだ。すごく香ばしくていい匂いがします、ご主人様。
It definitely does. What is this smell? I turned toward the source of it.
いらっしゃいませ。美味しい出来たてのたこ焼きいかがですか？熱々で鰹節たっぷりのたこ焼きいかがですか？あ、猫のたこ焼き屋さんだ。珍しいですね、ご主人様。ほんとだ。小さい子猫ちゃん、かわいい。
It was a cat girl younger than Chocolat and Vanilla. She waved her tiny hands as she politely drew customers in. In human terms, she looked like she was about 12 or 13 years old. In cat years, she was about 6 months old. The young CATGIRL noticed us and ran over.
猫のお姉ちゃんだ。私と一緒だね。にゃんにゃん。一緒だね。にゃんにゃん。喉ゴロゴロしてあげちゃおう。ゴロゴロ。子猫は無邪気で超かわいい。半端ない。私はなでなでしてあげちゃう。なでなで。
すみません、うちの猫が。あの猫ちゃんたちの飼い主さん？
The owner of the food stand greeted us. Yes, I am. Well, to be more exact, my little sister is their owner.
すごく可愛くてお利口な猫ちゃんたちだね。愛想もいいし、言葉もしっかりしてるし。うちのはまだ7ヶ月なんだけどね。もうちょっとしたらあんな風にちゃんとしてくれるのかな。
The food stand owner had a wry smile on her face, like she was talking about a mischievous child of hers. At a glance, it was understandable that seeing a young CATGIRL made it easy to overlook these things. Mine were originally strays, so I actually don't know how old they are. The veterinarian said that they were twins and were now about 9 months old. My little sister is actually quite the education freak. Back then, they were really noisy, but it was all worth it.
しぐれちゃんがちゃんとお勉強教えてくれたんです。いい子になれるようにって。しぐれ、厳しい。でも、おかげさまでいろいろと覚えた。
そうなんだ。いいご主人様なのね。
あ、でもご主人様はご主人様なんです。しぐれちゃんはしぐれちゃんですから。ね、ご主人様。通訳すると、しぐれは大事な友達。ご主人って呼ぶのは、こっちのご主人だけってことで。
愛されてるんだね、ご主人様は。
Well, I am grateful. She lightly nudged me with her elbow. I responded with an embarrassed, forced smile. Hearing this kind of stuff in public sure was embarrassing.
子猫ちゃん、ちょっと上向いてごらん。上？こう？すきあり。ゴロゴロゴロ。ゴロゴロゴロ。
The three of them were getting along very well. The food stand owner looked fondly at them from nearby.
うちの子ももともと野良だったんだよね。今日みたいにたこ焼き売ってたらお腹空かせて寄ってきてさ。そのまま拾って今じゃ自分の娘みたいなもんになってさ。店まで手伝ってくれるようになってね。人型猫が流行したこともあったけど、普通の猫の何倍も飼うのが大変だからね。
Her words seemed tinged with blame and worry. She grumbled, letting out a sigh. Not that long ago, it wasn't rare to see stray humanoid cats just wandering throughout town. But now, it was more likely for one to see humanoid cats that were well loved by their owners. Since the amount of unfortunate humanoid cats had decreased, there was more of a balance, and owners were quite elated.
ほんと、責任感のない連中ばっかりで嫌気もさすけど。でも、そいつらのおかげで可愛い娘に会えたのかなって思うと、なんとも言えないけどね。
It was a bright and honest laugh. I nodded in agreement. That is true. This must be like how pets find their way back to their owners. I smiled at such an uncharacteristic thought from me.
ああ、そうだった。お姉ちゃんたち、たこ焼きはいかがですか？熱々で大きいタコが入ってて、すっごくすっごく美味しいですよ。すっごく美味しいたこ焼き。あ ご主人が作ってくれるから、ごめん。
Chocolate and Vanilla's shoulders drooped downheartedly. As they hugged their heads, I rubbed them from behind. I took a look at the little takoyaki seller. Okay, 3 orders of takoyaki. Can you do that for me?
たこ焼き3つ？
Her large eyes blinked as she tilted her head in confusion. Yeah, for me, Chocolate, and Vanilla. Could you do that for me?
はい、たこ焼き3つですね。ご主人様、オーダーです。たこ焼き3つ。ご主人。
It's going to take time to get home and make food after all. Besides, I want to try the takoyaki here too.
ショコラも、もうお腹が切なくグーグー泣いてました。すごく嬉しいです。ご主人かっこいい。しぐれがいつもツンデレ実刑はいいものですと言ってるだけのことある。
Wait, what does that mean?
はいはい、じゃあこっちにあるメニュー好きなトッピングと味選んでね。うちの猫が遊んでもらった分サービスさせてもらっちゃうよ。
ありがとうございます。ショコラはマヨネーズかかってるのが好きです。ありがたくいただきます。ペコリ。私は明太子チーズがいい。
My question was completely ignored. Well, I guess I shouldn't let it bother me, huh? I wondered about that as I looked at Chocolate and Vanilla, happily awaiting their takoyaki in front of the food stand.
Nekopara.
I still can't get a hold of her. Were there guests over today? When I checked the clock, it was past 10 o'clock already. Since then, I'd tried calling Shigure several times, but couldn't get through to her. And just like that, it had already gotten this late. I've never gone this long without hearing from Shigure. I really didn't understand my family's schedule at all.
ご主人様、ご主人様。久しぶりに一緒にお風呂入りましょう。お背中流してあげますから。私たちの発育が良くなってからお風呂入れてくれなくなったご主人のエロ。
You haven't even grown that much. What are you two talking about?
にゃにゃにゃにゃんですと。ショコラとバニラはもう立派なレディー猫だってしぐれちゃんが言ってましたし。その発言がセクハラ。猫の尊厳を踏みにじってる。それにショコラは今くらいがアイデンティティ。
Vanilla, you're the one changing the subject. In any case, don't worry about the bath. You two need to get ready to go home.
にゃ？帰る支度？ショコラの家はご主人様のお家ですけども。ショコラの隣が私の居場所だし。あと、ご主人かっこいい。なんか妙に男前に見えてきた。
Stop feigning ignorance, you two. Cut that out. The two of them looked my way, about to distract me again. Since Shigure isn't picking up, I'll take you two home. So go get ready to leave. Chocolate and Vanilla turned away from me and cast their gazes downward. Returning home on the same day I had moved out, seemed to be such a stupid idea that I did hesitate a bit. There was no other way. Nor was there time for excuses. I looked towards Chocolate and Vanilla as they hung their heads in silence and continued on. Listen up, you two. I'm going to open my bakery. I've got no one to rely on, so I don't know how things will turn out. With all that's going on, I don't know if I can take care of you two. Get it? I mean, it's already going to be difficult enough just looking after myself.
です。
It was a quiet voice I could barely hear. Chocolate said something with her head down. What did you say? I came closer and asked her to repeat herself.
嫌です。ショコラは絶対に帰りません。そんなこと言うご主人様は嫌いです。
Wait. Hey, Chocolate!
私もダットのごとく、いや、脱猫のごとく離脱。
Wait, stop! Vanilla, why are you running away too?
ほらご主人様、こっちですよ。ショコラはこちらにございます。
It's dangerous, so stop running around. If you fall, you'll get hurt.
猫にそんな心配はご不要。人型でも猫は猫。さささ。
Maybe so in Chocolate's case. But aren't you bad with physical activity? Come on. I've got you now, Chocolate.
いやー、ご主人様のエッチ、どこ触ってるんですか？ご主人、ショコラの胸もろ触ってる。もうわしづかみ。
I am not! It's because you two are running around.
にゃーん、隙ありです。
Hey, stop it! You're still going to run? Gah. I've got you, Vanilla.
こちょこちょこちょこちょこちょ。
What? Chocolate, stop! Really? Chocolate!
ナイスアシストショコラ。ささ。
Like I said, stop running! The two of them didn't listen to a word I said as they continued to mess with me. And that was how the first night went. For now, I'll let you stay. But only for tonight. I don't have guest beds or futons, okay? While all that was happening, 11 o'clock became midnight. Even if I took them home, everyone was sure to be asleep by now. The one glimmer of hope I had, that Sugar would call me back, didn't happen. So I decided that taking them home tomorrow was my first priority.
もちろんご主人様のベッドで寝ます。私もご主人のベッドで我慢する。
Cleverly, they'd even brought pajamas. Just how much planning went into their schemes anyway? Really? If you two sleep there, where will I?
一緒に寝てくれないんですか？この子に及んで。ご主人は人の男子なのに往生際が悪い。順番はご主人、ショコラ、私でいい。にゃー。ご主人様とバニラに囲まれて幸せにゃー。
Don't get ahead of yourself, you two. A single bed for 3 people is too crowded.
じゃあ押しかけたのはショコラたちですし、ここでいいですよ。猫らしく丸まって寝ますし。贅沢は言わない私たち、超けなげ。猫の鏡。こんな感じで。
I watched the two of them lie down and curl up on the floor of an empty room without even curtains. That's way too pitiful of a sight to be called praiseworthy.
お引っ越ししたばかりで段ボールたくさんありますよね。お家作ったらあったかいって聞いたし、なんとかなる気がする。
That's something only strange people would say. Where did these cat girls get this information from, anyways? Well, they've probably read a lot of books and watched TV in Sugar Ray's room. Chocola isn't good with kanji characters, so she only reads picture books, though. Whatever. You two go sleep in my bed. It still gets pretty cold at night in April, after all.
そしたらご主人様はどうするんですか？ショコラの隣？
I'm going to sleep on the sofa in the living room. The sofa can fit one person, and there's air conditioning there if I need it.
ダメですよ。それならショコラがソファーで寝ますから。ご主人様はバニラと一緒にお布団で寝てください。私こそソファーのが落ち着く。ショコラとご主人でベッド使えばいい。
They move quickly toward me like lions catching their prey. I placed my hands on their heads and spoke in a clear and stern voice. Listen up. I will sleep on the sofa, and you two will sleep in my bed. Those are your master's orders. Understood?
ご主人様。ご主人。
I said it like that deliberately. The two of them looked as if they wanted to say something, but they hesitated. They lowered their heads apologetically.
ごめんなさい。ご主人様。ごめんなさい。ご主人。
They mustered out. They looked like they were on the verge of tears. Their obedience had the exact opposite of the effect I expected. It filled me with guilt. I felt a prickling sensation in my chest. That pain left me as I sighed and rubbed the two of them on the head. Come on. Get going.
はい。
Good night. If anything happens, call for me right away.
はい。おやすみなさい。ご主人様。おやすみ、ご主人。
I gently rubbed the heads of the two dispirited cat girls once more. See you in the morning. With that said, I turned the lights off in their room.
ご主人様。本当にごめんなさい。迷惑をかけてしまって。
Her vanishing voice echoed slightly in the darkened room. The pain in my heart from before became even sharper. I swallowed that pain and replied cheerfully. It's okay if it's just for one night. Don't worry about it.
ご主人様。
Now then, go to sleep. I really shouldn't act on my emotions, huh? I lay down on the sofa. I sighed while staring at the ceiling. If I gave in to my emotions, the result would just lead to more sadness. If I used kind or hopeful words, they would all end up as lies. It's pretty uncool of me to be so passive like this. While I continued to pile on insults and make excuses for my actions. I closed my eyes and waited for sleep to take over. And with that, the story of Nekopara Volume 1 has begun. If you enjoyed this idea, this concept of a series where we read through a visual novel together, let me know in the comments section. If there's anything I can do to make your experience better, let me know that as well. Until next time, this is J Square John Jeremy signing off, saying so long and take care.